What's up, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. I'm SF Johnny, Seriously Focused Johnny. You are now tuned in to Difficult People Chronicles. Today's episode is called Why You Need to Do This. Before I get into this episode, I almost wasn't able to give you an episode because I was having technical issues. So I decided that the live stream that I'm going to do, I was going to do it the 20th, but I decided I'm going to do it the 27th. I just pushed it back a week. So it will be June 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific on YouTube. And yeah, that's about it. That's what I'm going to do. I had to push it back because it was just too much going on. And I want to make sure that everything is good for this next live streams. Like we don't have no errors, hiccups, technical issues. Everything goes smoothly. So today's episode is called, like I said, Why You Need to Do This. Victory can only be accomplished when you heal, or you in the process of healing. When you heal, your world shifts. But if you stay the same, you get the same results. And when I say that victory can be accomplished when you heal or when you're in the process of healing, is because there's a number of things. God cannot fully work through you if you are phony for some, narcissistic for some. He cannot work and operate in your vessel. God and demons cannot reside within the same vessel. There's always going to be war. And that's when your spirit be wrestling. It's like part of you know you want to walk the right path, and then the other part of you keep backsliding in those old ways or habits. Or I can say that from what I know is that God cannot operate in a person who is not willing to accept him. Because if you don't accept God, there's no reason he's going to be in your life because you haven't accepted him. The reason why I say that is because as a life coach, as a daughter, as an aunt, as a woman, as a black woman, with a lot of things that I've seen going on in the world, with a lot of things that I've been through, a lot of people's testimonies are from when they have healed. I know that when I say that victory can only come when you're in the process of healing is because for me, I was in the process of healing. I was in the process of working on myself. Made that commitment and I said, this is what I'm going to do. The day I stepped up to a life coach that I went to, that was the day all hell broke loose. And then I understood it. And then I started to see people who I thought cared about me. They didn't really care. I started to see their true colors. Yeah, because they wanted me to remain the same, but my spirit was fighting for change. I could tell you a person who everyone talked about this. I mean, people she was close to dogged her. If, and I'm just giving an example, if she said something like, I went to school and I'm certified or whatever, they would say things like, she didn't go to school, or she slept her way through school. It's like they always had something to say. It was always her people that had something to say about her. And these were people she trusted. These are people that she would walk a mile for. These are people she would stand for. And when she started to heal and started to see all these people turn on her, yeah, the pain was hard. It was hard on her. And it was a hard pill to swallow to see the people that she loved the most turn on her. But what I said to her is that if you didn't heal, you would never saw them. All of them would have been around you. All of them. Until you decided to heal. Including the guy you was dating. Because he didn't like the new her. He didn't like the fact that she wanted peace. She didn't want to party no more. She wanted to, do different things in life. He wasn't ready for that. It was too much for him. So what he do? Cheat? Yep. And what I said to her is, don't be angry because you changed. Because some people will look at their past and say, well, if I didn't do this, this wouldn't have happened. And I said to her, your past was your comfort zone, but you had to change. Don't be mad at yourself because you changed. Then there was a situation with this guy that I know. He came up to the States, and he was a very nice guy. Very nice. Haven't seen him in a while, so that's why I say was. And a lot of people saw him as fresh meat. That's what I call it, fresh meat. Anytime you go to a different area, and you're not from this country, people notice. People notice. And they treated him like fresh meat. It's almost like he had on a t-shirt that says, use me. Family up here, they were using him, calling him every 5 minutes to ask him to do things their own kids wouldn't do, which was strange to me. I was like, one day I said, you know, your aunt got like 5 kids. Why one of those kids can't mow the lawn? Why is she calling you? You have a job. Like, you literally have a job now. I think the thing that bothers me, sidebar, is when people think that you're single, that you have nothing, absolutely nothing to do. Like, they think that every minute of your life needs to be taken up. And I say that because you go through things too called life. Single people go through life. I don't care if you got kids and they left the home, like they went off to college, got married, whatever. Life. I don't care if you single and you don't have kids and you have a dog, or you don't have a dog, you got a turtle, or you got goldfish. You go through some things. People think that single people don't go through nothing. No, you go through some things. It's called life. Some people have jobs where their supervisors or bosses are abusive and their actions are going unchecked. They have no control at home, so they try to control you. Their idea of leadership is so misconstrued. Then you have situations like the dating life. You really got to be careful because you don't know who's who out there. And I will say it, you got a lot of people, a lot of brothers on the down low, and you got women who are in relationships that they don't want to be in. They don't want to be alone. So everybody's miserable. And it's just like this whole bubble of confusion. And sometimes because people don't know who they want to be or where they want to be or what they want to do, they want to bring all that drama baggage in someone else's life. Being single is just as hard as a person being married who is married to a difficult person, because you have that too. You have some people that are whole and they think that their other half is whole, and then years later they find out that person's broken or got some issues that they never resolved. Healing is very important. So, back to what I was saying. He was single, he finally got a job, and family always wanted to use him. And I was just like, your aunt got like 5 kids. Why one of them can't mow the lawn? Like, they sitting around doing nothing. Well, not all of them. You had, I think it was three that was doing nothing. Grown people living in the house, not working, sitting around. Why they can't mow the lawn? They not disabled, not mentally challenged. They don't have two left feet. Why they couldn't mow the lawn? But she would always call him and beg him to do things that she couldn't get her kids to do. And he was tired because sometimes new in this country, and people see your work ethic and they see how good you are. And there's very few people that I know that have that work ethic. Like nowadays, I could see people walk through the door and I'd be like, that person ain't gonna make it. Just by yeah, yeah, not gonna make it. I give them a few weeks, and then nowadays they promoting people or giving people jobs that don't know nothing. They don't know nothing, don't want to work, always going on vacation, always doing this. Those are the people that they give jobs to. But the ones that got that work ethic, that's priceless. Those are the people they want to use. Those are the people they want to destroy, talk bad to. So he had things going on in his life as a man. And then when he tried to test the waters and go out dating, it was like women saw him as fresh meat. So it was just like, I could mold him into whatever I want him to be. If I want him to be a personal trainer, I could mold him into being that. If I want him to act like a rapper, I get him to dress up like that. I could get him to be whatever I want him to be. And it was a struggle because his spirit was like not having it. And I would say that the both of them, they had issues that they needed to work on. Like for the female, to allow her to embrace change, embrace the new her, treat herself better. Self care is not just about going to the mall and going to the spa, it's you treating yourself with love, being okay with walking away, accepting that certain people don't need to be in your life, learning when to shut the door and lock it with 4 locks. Because trust me, the evil spirited people will come trying to take your door down when they see you walk away. People who are uses and abuses. They don't respect you when you're in front of them, but they sure will miss you when you gone. Number one, they don't have nobody else to badger. Number two, they had the opportunity to see what goodness looked like, peace, love look like from a person. And when you walk away as the light in their life, they can't see. It's dark. And they realize that whatever was going on was them. One of the things I'm going to say is this: people, and this is what I'm saying, like I said before, I think plenty of times, some people only want you in their life for their benefit, which is they are users. They are users. And then when they come back around, they think that you're just not bright enough to understand that they still coming back around to try to do the same thing. That's why you got to lock the door. Healing means letting go of a lot of things. It's not just when I talk to some of my clients, and you know, I talk to them about God, I talk to them about the Bible, but I also talk to them about their self and themselves, and I say, things like, if you know X, Y, and Z is wrong, like you know that the guy you with is cheating, you know this, like you telling me, I don't know him, I don't really know you, but you know he's cheating. You know that you're miserable. You know that since you've been with him, things hasn't been right. Like your friends don't want to really hang with you no more. Even when you go out with him in public, you can't have a good time without him acting up. You know this. But you afraid to let him go. And he's already halfway out the door. Because he's cheating. He's only coming home because there's some kind of thing in his body, like a cell. I call it the Playboy cell, which says, I want to make sure, see what she doing, but I'm really want to be with that. Oh God, that just came to me. Yes, yes, yes. It's like one foot in and one foot out. Always want to see what you doing. That's what it is. Oh, that's for who that's for. He always just want to see what you doing. He don't care nothing about you. That's why he messing with the other girl. But the moment you level up and walk away, all his attention is going to be on what you doing, where you going, X, Y, and Z. Why? Because you ain't paying attention to him. And that's for who this is for. That just came to me. And there's nothing different when it comes to men. Some of these men, like, I feel like you got men in a relationship and they only doing it to please people. Sometimes you not even sometimes people pleasing can make you miserable. You trying to please that one person who is not even in a relationship. So this is a plug-in. When I started to talk about this part, it's like and I was doing a playback to make sure that everything I said was there. It went over the same thing I said twice. So this is for somebody who is in a relationship and is miserable because their relationship is really not a relationship. They in a relationship are operating single. In other words, they're in a relationship and the other party already got one foot out the door. Like they already don't want to be with this person. You know, and sometimes you have certain people, like you have sometimes you got mothers or fathers or family members that they like that person like a hangout buddy, that they don't want you to separate from that person, but that person make you miserable because their spirit ain't right. And it's the same thing, it's a you situation. I just used you for my benefit, whatever it was. You know how many, when I was younger and I was out there trying to find a boyfriend, um women, like being around a lot of women and them just keeping it real with me and saying certain things. You had a lot of women that was just all about money. They wasn't about love. It was just like how good he looked, how much money he make, and this and that. Then they got into the challenge of the relationship, like marriage, and they couldn't hold up. Couldn't hold up. Because it's like if you get a man with a whole heap of money and he needs you to help him, like you coming in and you married to him and he's like say he's a big, I don't know, owns his own company, make all this money or whatever the situation have you, and he says, I need you to help me with a few things or do X, Y, and Z for the business and all that other stuff, and you don't have that work ethic, what good are you? You asked for the money. And that's what I said to somebody. I said, you asked for a man with a whole heap of money. You got just that. Now you can't hold up. And it's the basics. Like the basics. But some people live in that bubble. And the bubble is what I call society's reality. I could go shopping, get this expensive bag, get these expensive shoes. I could do this, that. And you don't know nothing about nothing. Nothing. Things going on in the house where, let's say, he say, you know what, I'll wire the money here and you could pay all and just make sure all the bills is paid. He literally puts the money on the table and then you just gotta allocate what goes where, when, and at what time. And you can't even do that straight. Why? Because you're computer illiterate. But you was living in that bubble, thinking that life was gonna be easy. And then you realize that for you it's really not. People gotta learn to work on being who God wants them to be. And I'm not the person that's going to be sitting up there saying I'm a preacher, because I know that there was things that I didn't like about myself and I wanted to change. And like I said some time ago, my reality, I looked in the mirror one day, it was sunny outside. My room was filled with sunshine and I looked in the mirror and I said a prayer to God, because I was looking at myself and I was just like, what is it? And it became a situation where I started to ask questions about myself. Is it me? And that day when I said, is it me? I think I got dressed up and I went to a coaching seminar and signed up for a session, and I kept asking that question. And then next thing you know, God started talking to me. I mean, God was always talking to me before, but now I was more listening. And I started to see that a lot of people around me wasn't right. Yeah, you get stuck. Yeah, sometimes you get depressed. Yeah, sometimes you get sad because you feel like you wasted so much time on people that you shouldn't have wasted your time on. But I rather know than not know. So I didn't get mad at myself for changing. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. Certain things I just didn't want to do no more. I said, I'm not doing that. And I made that decision. Like, if people around me can't understand, then so be it. I'm not changing for them. I'm changing for God and me. And it was then God started to talk to me more and more and more and more. For some people, change might mean, like I said, letting go of some people. Change might mean giving up something: alcohol, drugs, sex, food, candy. When I say food, I mean junk food, candy, whatever is an addiction. There was something that just came to me a few minutes ago that I just I said sometimes I say you have to give up some things. Oh, okay. So for who this is for, somebody's mother. I feel like it's a woman. It's a mother. I don't think it's a grandmother, but it's a mother. That person is toxic. And this person, you're holding on to your mother. And I understand it's your mother. But your mother is the reason why there's no peace in your household. Your marriage is just destroyed. And your kids don't want to be bothered with you. Like, you hear from them once in a blue. And it's your mother. And I feel like it's a female. It's her mother. So it's the wife, but it's her mother. Somebody don't want to be bothered with you. Like your kids don't want to be bothered with you. Your husband don't want to be bothered with you. I don't even know if you have a dog, but maybe the dog don't want to be bothered with you. The goldfish probably turn their back on you. The birds fly away. Yeah, it's your mother. She has this dark energy that's very bad, and it's been there all along. But for who this is for, you somewhat walked away from some of the darkness when you got married. But that darkness always comes back because it's your mother. And that's the thing you holding on to. You know she's a messed up individual. You know this. It's like you for who this is for, you searching for her. She ain't looking for you. You always bring her near you because that's your mother. It's something that you want. You didn't grow up without her, whoever this is for. You didn't grow up without her. But there's something in you that's holding on. And you know your mother's trifling. She done did some things. She done did some things. I don't know what things she did, but I feel like she's a very bad person. Like, I feel like she's a witch and she hurt people. And you know this. But that's your mother. You gotta let go. And sometimes, not even sometimes, a lot of times that's where loneliness comes in. Loneliness comes in because nobody, for who this is for, nobody want to deal with you. You want to hold on to your mother. And when she walks away, you're by yourself. Hold on to God. Because your mother shouldn't be an option. Like, she's causing, whoever this is for, she's causing misery. Um, so back to what I was saying. When a person is going through a warfare, there's a lot of people that will talk the talk, meaning that they claim they did what they did and all this other stuff and they went through warfare, but some people really didn't. Some people have no clue. Some people hear stories of the other people and they say, yeah, me too. Mm-mm. Some don't want to talk about warfare at all. I always say that. And that's one of the things that destroys a lot of people, because I explained to a pastor the other day, I said, when we as spiritual people have to act and there's a situation in front of us, it has to be a nine, it has to, we have to handle it like a 911. Mm-hmm. Because for some people there might not be a tomorrow. And if you not equipped to handle that situation, because there might be sometimes like people might have so many demons inside of them, or you know their situation is so much, or they have so much dark energy that it just interferes with your energy. You might have to pray that they find the right person or get the right help, or that God intervenes, because a lot of people are operating with the wrong energy. And when I say 911, that means just to act. Because sometimes you might have to just jump on it and pray. Because you can't help everybody. One of the things I said to myself early on is, when it comes to spiritual warfare, because of my situation I was in, I cannot trust anyone outside of who I already trust now. Because the people that in the past that I trusted, they added to my pain I was going through. And that was guiding me in the wrong direction. So I went to God. Like, you could be going through something. Say you always having negative thoughts, or you thinking bad about yourself. I'm not gonna say what I did, but I'm gonna say there was things that I did, and you meet a person, and the person is designed or supposed to be designed to help you, and they just saying some things that make you just, now you got another fire to fight. You know what I'm saying? You got all this nonsense going on over here, but then you got to fight this fire in front of you. And it was things I didn't need. You know, when you going through a change and you're working on yourself, there are gonna be some people you gotta close the door. You're gonna have to close the door on. Yeah, and understand. I trust some people, but some people, they did not know much about how to navigate through the warfare I was going through. They knew some things, but not that specific thing. And during that time, I feel like my ex was working with someone to try to destroy me. Yeah. So I didn't trust nobody. I wasn't even trusting the person in front of me that said, trust me, or I'ma help you, or such and such and such. No. Because when I started to heal and God said, okay, this is it, next, let's move on to the next thing, I had to move on to the next thing. Why? Because the more you heal, God will, all those people, they going to start going through their karma. When you start working on yourself, you start working on your light. And think about your energy as a dimmer light. So your light is low, and then all of a sudden, or maybe even off, and then it goes up a little, and then it goes up some more, and then it goes up some more. And the moment you walk away, it goes up real high. And I started to see that. I started to see that. People, listen to this. Sometimes in relationships, if your energy is not right, you attract the wrong person, make the wrong friends, make the wrong decisions, argue with people that shouldn't matter at all, or you focus on the wrong things. Fighting and the warfare becomes hard because you want to work on the outside but not within yourself. You got to get rid of the trash around you. You got to get rid of the trash inside of you. And yes, I said trash because the trash around you, some people are still in their kids' age, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and they could be the biggest kid there is. There's no cutoff point with them. They love to play games. And you need to do some cleaning. When God works on you, you will see the enemy up close and far. You will instill boundaries so the enemy cannot just come in and violate. You learn how to fight when nothing else seems to work or the people around you do not know. If the people who helped you along is not there, you still know how to fight with or without them. And the reason why I say if people who helped you along are not there, meaning that there's some things that people can help you with and they could take you to a certain point. That's why I always tell my clients, I could take you to a certain point, but you're going to have to learn how to stand. Yeah. So if the people who helped you along is not there, like they only took you to a certain point, you will still know how to fight with or without them. Ephesians chapter 6 was given for a reason. It gives you the tools, but you also have to work on you. You have to get rid of the bitterness. You have to stop being jealous for some. Stop looking at your neighbor. And some people don't even, if you say to them something like, "You jealous?" They say, "No, I'm not." Because they don't even realize that they looking at their neighbor with like side eyeing them. For some, you got to stop pretending everything is okay. Because there's some people out there going through warfare. They just pretending everything is okay. So they being phony to themselves. That's who they being phony to, themselves. They not keeping it real with themselves. Someone once said that people always say, "I keep it real," and that doesn't exist. Yeah, it does exist. It does. It does. You got some people out there that do keep it real. Those are the ones 9 times out of 10 that's not really liked. The wrong people don't like them. And nowadays, there's a whole lot of wrong people. Real people don't have a problem saying what's on their mind and sleeping peaceful at night. So, like I said, for some, you got to stop pretending everything is okay when it isn't. The world will put you in that false narrative of pretending you are okay when you're not. For some, you cannot stop drinking, crying, or be depressed. And I feel like there's somebody out there that's drinking and crying and depressed, all wrapped up together. Drink, cry, depress. Cry, drink, depress. Depress, drink, cry. I don't know who that is. And that is why I'm here. Because I force you to deal with yourself. You got to change. You can't come to me and think that you're not going to get no homework. You're not going to be doing no work on yourselves. Each session is tailored for that specific person. But you got to work on yourself. Can't expect your surroundings, the people around you, to change. That's not realistic. Some people have no idea what I went through for years. There are things I still did not share with y'all for various reasons. But the one thing I know is Pretending is not a safe place when you're going through a warfare, because it only takes the enemy a certain amount of seconds to take a person down. So, like I said, on June 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. Join me for the live on YouTube. Email me with some questions, work related questions. Work related questions. Put in the subject box workplace, and then hit me with your question that's going on in the workplace. Because the session is going to be dealing with workplace warfare. So that's June 27th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. That's it for today. Sign up for a session. If you want to work on change, email me, and check out my store. Check me out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, click the notification, and have a blessed week, y'all. Later.